Anders with the mayor's minutes from the Auburn City Council meeting of September the 3rd, 2019. We began in the Committee of the Whole by talking about the no parking zone on William Street. This is a decision that the City Council made about a month ago. And this actually happens to be the street that Miss Connie Taylor lives on, Councilperson Connie Taylor. After evaluating the decision that the city had made, Ms. Taylor has asked us to come back and reevaluate this decision. There was certainly some issues on her street. It's a very narrow street, an older residential street that has had some new development. And so we're going to go back and relook at all the areas that we included in no parking and see if there's a better way to create no parking zones in and on that street. Ms. Taylor has a very unique situation with her home there, and she just asked the council to reconsider, so we'll have our staff go back and look at that. We also reappointed Brad McGill to the West Pace Village Improvement District. He has served one term, and we were happy to appoint Brad to serve a second term. As we got into the City Council agenda last night with the first meeting of the month, we were able to recognize many of our employees who have done a great job. And to begin is Elizabeth Kaufman, who's the Therapeutics Rec Director, as the Employee of the Month for September. Elizabeth joined Parks and Rec in 2017. She was immediately put into the Summer Therapeutics Camp program, which is a 7-week all-day program of 55 teens and adults with intellectual disabilities. She successfully finished her 3rd year of leading that program. She also leads the Lee County Special Olympics, which serves all of us here in Lee County. She also is in charge of the Daddy-Daughter Date Night, which, believe it or not, is a 5-night event now in our community and serves over 1,900 people. So Elizabeth has done a great job on behalf of everyone here in the city, and we were happy to honor her as the Employee of the Month for September 2019. In service awards last night, we recognized Elizabeth Ingram from Water Resource Management for 5 years, Tamara Yancey from the Finance Department for 15 years, Terry Zellers from the Environmental Services Department for 15 years, and Allison Edge from the Finance Department for 20 years. Also want to recognize Allison for being recently promoted to our Finance Director for the City of Auburn. We say goodbye to Penny Smith, who has moved on to the City of Huntsville. We're certainly proud that a city that is as prosperous and growing as fast as Huntsville has sought one of our employees here at Auburn to help lead such a sensitive and important department for their city, and we thank Penny for all that she's done. But we're very excited about Allison's leadership into the future, and she's the perfect replacement and will do a great job on behalf of all of us. We had some special awards last night. Ann Randall, who's an urban forestry specialist with the City of Auburn, received an Achievement Award. She has attained certification as an International Society of Arboriculture Certified Arborist. So she has gone back to school and learned many things about the well-being and the health and welfare of trees. I would encourage anyone that if you have any question about trees in our city, that Ann will certainly be our go-to person for that. But once again, we appreciate our employees who are willing to go back to school while they're working and receive these degrees that only help us serve you, the citizens, and make Auburn a better place. So thank you, Ann, for doing that, and we were proud to recognize her achievement last night. We also recognized a bunch of employees for a Teamwork Award. As we got ready to open up the Googe Performing Arts Center 2 weeks ago, there was some real pressure to get through with some of the streetscapes there in front of the Performing Arts Center, and so we really had to pull a large group of employees together to pull that off. All of them were recognized individually last night, and I encourage you to go to our website and to read the minutes and see all of their names. But there was people pulled from 6 different divisions here in the City of Auburn. I think it constituted almost 20 individuals that came together to make that happen. And if you ride down South College Street, you'll see what a great job they did, and they pulled this off just in time for the Googe Performing Arts Center to have its special weekend 2 weeks ago. So thank you to all of those people for making sure that this happened. Dan Ballard was really their leader for all this, and Dan is our Landscape and Sustainability Division Manager, and they did a great job making Auburn a beautiful place and adding to a special celebration with the Googe Performing Arts Center opening. We were also able to recognize last night, and proud to recognize Miss Jackie Middleton. Miss Middleton was basically the runner-up for the Alabama Teacher of the Year. The official title is called the Alternate Teacher of the Year, but Jackie was recognized as the Secondary Teacher of the Year. And when you consider that there are almost 47,000 teachers in the Alabama public school system, and Jackie was recognized as the Alternate Teacher of the Year, That is a great, great award and a great recognition. Jackie has done an outstanding job for Auburn for many, many years. She teaches engineering and science at Auburn High School. She promotes our STEM program throughout all of our schools. She leads the robotics team and the engineering club at AHS. And she does it with enthusiasm and flair in class, and so we're proud to recognize Jackie, and she got a deserving standing ovation last night, and we hope she's having a great day today at Auburn High School. We also recognized the Auburn-Dixie Youth Ozone All-Star Team. This group of 11 and 12-year-old boys, along with their moms and dads and their families and their 3 coaches, won the World Series this year in Ruston, Louisiana, and we were able to bring the team in last night and recognize them appropriately and tell them thank you for the way that they represented the city of Auburn this summer as they fought their way through the district tournament, the state tournament, and finally the World Series to be the first time that Auburn has ever had a 12-year-old team win a World Series championship. So congratulations to each of those young men and their families and their coaches on that. In the consent agenda last night, we approved a number of alcohol beverage licenses for Mama Mocha's on South Gay Street, a number of things in and around hospitality events on campus, and I would encourage you once again to go to our minutes if you want to get more information about that. We also approved the repurchase of a home from Auburn Bank so we can add that to our affordable housing inventory in Northwest Auburn. This home is located at 893 Zellers Court. Under contracts and agreements, we have accepted a 1-year Enterprise Advantage program of $61,000 with ESRI. This company provides services to our GIS system, which is integrated in almost everything we do here in the city, and this is a support contract that we have signed with them. We also approved a contract with Ozark Striping Company for the fiscal year 2019 streets restriping project, which was a little over $100,000. We approved the development agreement with 320 West Mag. We tabled that from the last meeting on August 20th. We asked them to go back through the downtown review process, which they had done once, but it had not been completed. They did complete that process. I appreciate the developers of this project going through that process. Because this project is not in the urban core, they weren't mandated to go through the downtown design review process, but they did, and they did with a good attitude, and I appreciate the advice that they took from the downtown design review team, and we appreciate all the time that they took to listen to us in your best interest as a citizen of Auburn. And so we approved that last night. We also approved from Fraser Lanier Company the bond purchase contract for the 2019 general obligation bonds that will be affiliated with the Drake School Project and the Cary Wood School Project, and the City Council approved that last night as well. Easements and right-of-ways, we approved a couple of those. I would encourage you again to read that information on our website a little bit later. We also approved a number of stop signs in 3 different neighborhoods, which are engineering department at the City of Auburn and Public Works recommended those to make those neighborhoods safe. As we got into the final part of the meeting last night and we talked about the Colors House, Councilman Brett Smith asked us to consider tabling this until the September 17th meeting. Yesterday there were 2 different private individuals that came into the city and met with staff about their interest in moving this house to their property. One of the private individuals, after doing their own due diligence, has decided not to participate, and they feel like they could not afford to move the house. But the other private individual is still considering it. And so Councilman Smith asked us if we'd just consider tabling this. I remind everybody that September the 30th is really the hard deadline we all have to give the owner of the home a plan as to what could possibly be done with the house. And so on September 17th, we will now make that decision whether the city will invest $1 million into saving and repurposing this house on city property. If you have any points or thoughts on that, and I encourage you to continue to reach out to your city council representatives or myself and let us know how you feel about that. There were a number of citizens that spoke to this last night, and we'll have a public hearing regarding this when it comes time to vote on it on September the 17th. I remind everyone that this house is not owned by the city at this point in time. It's owned by a private individual. We have a limited ability to negotiate with the home at this point in time because the city does not own it. If there are any private individuals, institutions that believe that they are interested in moving this house, would desire to see this house preserved, we encourage you to contact the owner and make them aware of that. I believe the tenants of the house now would have set an appointment with you to allow you to come in and look around. but we really need to have a private individual come through and show us that they're interested, and maybe we can help them develop a plan for moving this house. And that's about all from the meeting last night. I appreciate your interest in everything that goes on in the City of Auburn. This is Mayor Ron Anders with the Mayor's Minutes from September 3rd, 2019. Have a great week.